Good evening, Southern Soul Tarot fam. I am doing a spread on the Watts family murder. The spread I decided to do this time that I actually haven't done yet at all on it was the Celtic cross spread. And the reason I decided to do that spread is because it kind of shows more in depth of like what was going on at the time, like what the problems were, things that, things like, the hopes and fears, things that were going on in the home, things that were going on in the environment, things that were causing the problems. So that's why I picked this spread. So what I'm also going to do is something like a little bit different, because someone had mentioned, they'd like to would like to see me shuffle the cards a little bit more often. So I kind of set up a small tripod that I have. Hopefully it works out well, but I'm going to shuffle the cards after I get done explaining this spread to you. And then I'm going to shuffle the cards and then lay them out. And then I'll take it back off the tripod and I will explain the cards that I laid out right after that. Now, this is, like I said, this is the spread, the Celtic cross spread, and I did it basically just between, in the very beginning, what was going on between Chris and Shannan. Not so much Nikki, because I don't really care about her. I mean, I know she comes in and she plays a big part, but I mean, we'll worry about her later. So immediately in the number 2 spot, because I skipped this significator because I didn't feel that I needed to pick that card, to be honest. So the card I picked, to me, the card is the Page of Pentacles. And I think the Page of Pentacles is there because Shannan was a Capricorn. Chris was a Taurus. So I think they both had that earthly energy of wanting to build, and wanting to grow and have those good things that, everybody hopes and dreams for. But I think Chris, out of these two energies, was the more immature one, obviously, because of his behavior and the things that he's done. So I think, in this particular situation, it is representing both of them, but it is showing that Chris was the more immature out of the two. And around this time, underneath following that is going to be the crossing, which indicates like any conflict within the home, or what the person was thinking. The conflict was about that. And the conflict was that Chris felt, I feel like, not Shannan, because Shannan was trying to solve the problem, was the Ten of Swords. I think he felt just completely overwhelmed, done with it, didn't want to deal with taking care of medical bills, house notes, mortgages, car notes, cell phone bills, any bill you can think of that every normal person has, he didn't want to take care of. So he felt just, completely defeated as a person. Everybody was against him, and he wanted to just give up and walk away from the whole situation, especially once the third baby came along, because he felt they were already so debt in medical bills, and which they did have medical bills, but everything can be taken care of. So right underneath that, you have the foundation. And this card basically illustrates like what was the problem. And the problem was, unfortunately, and this is not Shannan's on end that I'm getting the energy from the card, obviously, because she did her best, like I said, to fix what was going on. The Three of Swords energy was here because of the cheating. I think he was unhappy. He gave up. He tried to stop making things work between them, and that's what left the Three of Swords energy. You have him, her, and her being NK, and Shannan, all within this triangle, and it's just causing heartache for all. So right next to that, to the past, you find that the current problem was the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is because he basically felt like he was taking on all the burden and problems in the relationship, and that Shannan was kind of just making it about her. And I think basically I think he was jealous of Shannan. I think he wished that he could have been as easygoing and conversation flowing as well as she did. She was a very good communicator. She was a social butterfly. Everybody loved her. She was great at making conversation. And I think he really, really despised the fact that he could not do that. I think it made him jealous. Now, presently following that, I think that's when he decided, I'm nothing like Shannan. I just met and I think this is around the time he probably met Nikki, because you have the Queen of Cups coming right up. But I think, because they were exchanging emails for a while over, they were exchanging a lot of words, mental conversations with the swords for quite a while. And I think that's when he started probably losing sleep and wondering what else is out there and what else could possibly be a little bit better for me. And then in the next position, here comes Nicole Kessinger, which would be the Queen of Cups, because she is a Cancer. So he was looking at her thinking, oh, because she's so emotional, she's into her emotions, she's into, she's intuitive and psychic and has all the, because that's what the Queen of Cups usually is. They're there to it's basically like a motherly energy, and apparently he had an odd relationship with his mother, so that pretty much makes sense that he was like looking for this weird mother-son relationship, because it's totally crazy. And then so right following that, this card is showing that they had decided that he was seeing himself coming in with her in a very, very quick energy with emotions. They both just rode right in quick as possible with the cups, and they both were just totally in it together, wanting to make sure that they succeeded in making this relationship solid and getting the Shannan and the children out of the way. Now, the environment to everybody else that they saw of Shannan and Chris was the Hierophant, which is pretty much what people saw on Facebook. They saw, they saw a happy marriage, beautiful children, nice things, happy life, what they saw. So, they all assumed everything was okay. And so nobody really questioned that anything like this could have ever happened. So but I think in Shanann's mind, her hopes and fears were that she knew it was coming to an end because he told her he wasn't sure. And so, she had the children, and, it was going to be the 3 kids, her and Chris. So I think with the 4 of Pentacles, I think she was trying to hold on to Chris and the children, and she didn't want to let them go. She wanted to show him that she was going, please, like, pretty much give her another chance. And I don't think that there was anything that she could have possibly done wrong for him to do what he did. It's completely uncalled for. Nobody should ever do anything like that ever. But I think she felt like, there were certain things she just wanted to improve on her personality, maybe communication skills, because she was a Capricorn, and that is, an earth sign, and they don't really communicate. They communicate, but it takes them a long time to do so. So following that, the outcome ended up being actually the Death card. The Death card shows that it ended the cycle, that it ended, and it opened the door for a new beginning. Chris and NK no longer wanted to worry about Shannan holding on tight, not giving them the opportunity with the 4 of Cups to see the children and make things easy for them. So they decided to kill them all 4. So I think that's why the Death card is there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to shuffle my Rider-Waite deck, and then I'm going to lay those cards. So I'm going to put you on pause real quick so I can get you onto the tripod. So just one moment, please.